Now, Nicky, in the aftermath, I see by the headlines of today, Anheuser-Busch loses more than $5 billion in value amid Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light controversy. Nicky, this is a case clearly of Bud Light and the people that shepherd that brand not knowing their core audience. You know, she speaks disparagingly of frat boys. Those are the people buying cases and cases every weekend for their frat parties. What did you make of this debacle?
Honestly, it was really upsetting for us because, you know, when we wrote the Buy Cop book, we wrote it as an answer because it wasn't enough just to tell people don't spend money with these companies. Yeah. Now you got to start spending money with the patriotic companies. And we included Anheuser-Busch in the list of patriotic companies because they've traditionally been a conservative company.
Well, interesting.
In 2020, they gave a ton of money to Republican candidates, including Donald Trump for president.
Interesting.
They've always been a conservative company. The Bush family in Missouri has always been a deeply conservative German background family. But some of the executives deeper down into the organization have been these younger woke types. And one of them decided to hire this woman who thought, okay, you know what? Bud Light isn't for frat boys anymore. And I'm like, huh? Frat boys are the ones who drink Bud Light. You moron.
I'm a businesswoman. I had a really clear job to do when I took over Bud Light. And it was, this brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time. And if we do not attract young drinkers to come and drink this brand, there will be no future for Bud Light. So I had this super clear mandate. It's like, we need to evolve and elevate this incredibly iconic brand. And what I brought to that was a belief in, okay, what does evolve and elevate mean? It means inclusivity. It means shifting the tone. It means having a campaign that's truly inclusive and feels lighter and brighter and different and appeals to women and to men. And representation is at sort of the heart of evolution. You've got to see people who reflect you in the work. And we had this hangover. I mean, Bud Light had been kind of a brand of fratty, kind of out of touch humor. And it was really important that we had another approach.
And you can't, it's like, remember back in the day when Coke came out with New Coke?
Yes.
We need New Coke. Hey, this is great. Let's have New Coke.
Yes.
But Coke was smart enough to see that New Coke's tanking. Their core customers hated New Coke. So they backed away from New Coke and brought back Classic Coke. Right now, what Bud needs to do is they need to go and say, whoops, we screwed up. This lady's fired. Frat boys, come on back. We're for you. This is for you guys. If they don't do that, they'll never be back in the next edition of the book.
That was an excerpt from the Ezra Levant Show. I'm Ezra Levant. Every weekday, I do a monologue about the topic of the day. Then I interview a fascinating guest either in studio or via Skype. And then I read your mail, whether it's fan mail or hate mail, which is sometimes even more interesting. This is on our premium service, though, called Rebel News Plus. Go to rebelnewsplus.com. It's $8 a month or less if you buy a whole year in advance. You get my show every weeknight, plus Sheila Gunn Reid's show every week. It's called The Gun Show. It's pretty amazing. You know, we rely on you because we do not take a dime from the government. In Canada, that makes us almost unique. So please help us out and help yourself to some great journalism at rebelnewsplus.com.